I'm always excited to see Mayim. And she's in her car. Oh wow! So are you on your way to shoot Jeopardy?
No, I'm driving Carpool for my children after being up since 5 doing press for my movie.
Oh my gosh! All right, there's so much to talk about, and this is what I need to see, because this is what people are doing when we're on the air driving Carpool, right? So
I love this.
thank you
This
for
is
the
a working
visual.
mom right here.
My kids barely recognize me with false lashes driving Carpool, but we do what we need to.
All right, then let's go fast, because I know you got to get to drop off. This is a really, and we wanted to have you on to talk about this. This is a really important project for you, Mayim. And it's in select theaters and available on demand. It's called As They Made Us. This is a directorial debut for you. Tell us about why this is a passion project and what this is really about.
It starts with my father died 7 years ago, and there's a very traditional year of formal mourning in traditional Judaism. And after that year, I started wanting to put some thoughts down. I never thought I was going to turn it into a movie. I've never written a screenplay. And I wrote with Simon Helberg in mind. He was with me on Big Bang Theory. He was in my life when my father died. Like, he knew my family, and kind of wrote with him in mind and thought he'd be like, well, that's cute. You wrote a little script. But he was very, very moved by it. And I sat on it for a while. I just it's very vulnerable. It's not an autobiography, but it's totally things that, are based in my life. And some things did happen and other things didn't. And then here we go. And we have Dustin Hoffman, Candice Bergen, Diana Agron, and also Julian Gant, who works with me on Call Me Kat, playing the caregiver. So I had a friend from my present, a friend from my past, and then 2-time Oscar winner Dustin Hoffman. And it was insane.
How is it to direct some of the cast that's been doing this Dustin Hoffman, I can think back to some of the first movies I ever saw in my life, and this guy's in them. So what's it like to direct him?
It's very intimidating, because I had no idea if he'd be like, lady, I know what I'm doing, and this is your first movie. It turned out he wanted to know a lot about my family, about my process. He didn't know me from TV. So he's like, how'd you get into directing? And I was like, well, Mr. Hoffman.
Really? He didn't know?
No, he did not know. And when he first worked with Simon Helberg, in a rehearsal, we were doing a rehearsal, he's like, this Simon kid is good. And I'm like, yes, Dustin, Simon Helberg's going places.
And Candice Bergen's amazing as well. I also have loved her in so many things. And what stands out to me is Murphy Brown. That was go-to TV for me.
I was on Murphy Brown. I did one episode when I was 13. I never thought she would remember me. And she asked to meet with me after reading the script. She totally remembered me. And, it's a very painful part, that she's playing. She's this really complicated woman. And my experience was my mom and dad were together 53 years. They were obsessed with each other till the day he died. But that stage of when someone you love is different than the person you fell in love with, because they can't walk the same or they can't do the same things. It was it's a very painful transition, and all the emotions come out. And I think Candice did a beautiful job of putting her own spin on it. Everybody had to bring their self to these characters.
Well, what an emotional thing to be able to put this project out for people to see, and I guess for people to review. Is that weird?
The funny thing is, because it's an indie and we're only released in 10 theaters and it's mostly video on demand, it did not even occur to me that it was going to get reviewed. I thought,
also social media people talk, right? So
I didn't know. And I just posted this audio recording on my social media. Jonathan, my partner, who I do Mayim Bialik's Breakdown with, our mental health podcast, he recorded this conversation where I was like, I didn't know. And he's like, have you never Googled a movie? Do you not understand? So I think it was suspension of disbelief. It was such fear that when you're really excited about something and then everybody's like, it's not that good. You're like, look at my new haircut. And they're like, it's lame. So I was nervous that I was like, hey, guess what? Child star turned director. It's obnoxious. I know it sounds obnoxious. So I was just I blocked out that was going to happen. And the fact is, yes, the reviews have been very, very special, and that's shocking and beautiful. But the reviews that have been like not as good, to me they're as good reviews, because what people are saying who don't like it is, I don't want to feel these feelings with these people that I
Which
don't
means you're
like.
telling the story, right?
And I was like, yeah, that's why people leave their families. That's why people have tension. Like, I totally get it, reviewers who don't like it. And it's totally fine. It's not for everyone to live in this kind of intensity. But like, that's my life. I grew up with mental illness. Many of us grow up with mental illness, addiction. We don't talk about it. I wrote a movie where you can't look away, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it is amazing to see you talk about it while sitting in your driver's seat, pulled over, on your way to drop your kids off at school. All of it's, there's so many things happening. Mayim Bialik, As They Met, is select theaters now, available on demand. Happy Passover, by the way. Good to see you.
Thank you. I'm going to start by cooking tonight, and it means so much to me. I won't go on and on about how I've had a crush on you for a million years, because I say it every time I'm here. But it means so much to me also that like a local person that was part of my life like is giving space for this film. It means so much to me. So this and the cover of the Jewish Journal, those are like the highlights right now.
I mean, enjoy your
Crushing
cooking
it.
later. Bye. Drive safe, Mayim. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ryan. Bye, everybody.
Bye.